to the final score with Stevie Fly.
What's up, guys? It is Thursday night, February 5th, 2026. We are about 72 hours away from Super Bowl 60, Seahawks, Patriots. And tonight we're going to do our Super Bowl preview along with a few other things we're going to talk about in the NFL tonight. So, hope you guys are doing good. It has been, I don't know about you guys. I said it last week, I think, after that ice we got. I'm tired of it. And then get almost a foot of snow this last weekend. If we get any kind of freaking precipitation that's white this weekend, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm tired of it. I'm ready, you know, ready for 60, 70-degree weather. We've had enough. Let's go. Let's move forward. Move forward. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. Like I said, Super Bowl this weekend. Pro Bowl. We made our comments on the Pro Bowl last week. They had their little flag football game. Wow. I did not watch a minute of it. Didn't watch a minute of it. Didn't want to. Um, Saw it was on. And, you think, as big of a football fan as I am, you think that I would watch it, but I have no desire to watch a flag football game or anything to do with the Pro Bowl. It's become a joke. Uh, that's all I got to say. When you have C.J. Stroud turns down an invitation to the Pro Bowl, Shador Sanders is a Pro Bowl quarterback. It's a joke. It needs to be revamped or done away with. And either way, it's fine with me. They need to redo it, make it so it's the players want to play in it, because players don't want to play in it. So do something different. I mean, let's do something different here. It's not working. I mean, I know people are coming up. People are going to the Pro Bowl. They're making money off of it. As long as they're making the money off of it, I'm sure they're going to keep doing it this way. But people are coming for that experience of seeing the players up close and all this. That's great. Whatever. Pro Bowl joke. That's all there is to it. So all the coaching vacancies are now full. We had two more left after last week's show. The Cardinals, they pick up Mike LaFleur from the Rams, another one from the Sean McVay coaching tree. So how's this going to go? It's the Cardinals. What are you going to do? Is Kyler Murray going to be back next year? He's in a lot of trade talks. So this is a good move, I think, for the Cardinals. But what are you going to give him? What kind of weapons are you going to give this guy? I mean, it doesn't help if he doesn't have the weapons. He's not going to be able to do it. And the Raiders get Seattle's Clint Kubiak. So after the Super Bowl, he will be named the Raiders' new head coach. And we'll talk about our thoughts on the Super Bowl there. Frank Reich. This guy keeps coming back and coming back. He was named offensive coordinator of the Jets this week. Is he desperate? Is he is it glutton for punishment? Because that job, and Reich is a good coordinator. Reich always has been a good coordinator. But head coach, I guess they figured head coach, no. So that was interesting to see. I figured maybe he'd get a head coaching job again, but he's just not that great of a head coach. We've said it many a times. Some guys are better coordinators than head coaches. Some guys are better head coaches than coordinators. But if you're not a good coordinator, most of the time you're not going to get a head coaching job. Speaking of offensive coordinators, and I've got to pull this guy's name up because I'm going to butcher it. The Steelers, my boys. And yes, I am wearing, in honor of the Super Bowl this week, one of the Super Bowl MVPs from the Steelers from years past, the late, great Franco Harris, the immaculate reception. Franco, man, I mean, it was so sad when Franco passed. And that weekend of the anniversary of the immaculate reception, he was going to be honored at the Steelers Raiders game that week. I remember how cold it was that night. It was right before Christmas, too. But yeah, so sad with seeing Franco pass on that. But that was his time, and it was a fitting time for him to go. So Steelers get an offense coordinator. Vikings tight end coach Brian Angelicio. That's it. He's going to be Mike McCarthy's new offensive coordinator. And now, I mean, I don't know how much he'll do because McCarthy's going to call the plays. I mean, he'll probably be more of a offensive, like telling McCarthy, another set of eyes for McCarthy. I mean, McCarthy said from the start he'd be calling plays, and I don't know hardly any of them on this coaching staff that they're assembling here. Um, I know Peka. I can't remember his last name. Played. He's going to be the defensive line coach. He was a former Cincinnati Bengal. Had a lot of battles with the Steelers. There was a clip of a goal line play where they put him in at fullback, and he absolutely crushed Polamalu on a block. Which you get the best of Polamalu, you're doing something. Um, Guys, we talked last week about the big story last week was Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Fame. And it carried over this week into another one. Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Um, this is just like I said last week. When you let personal feelings enter into this kind of thing, the voting, when you let personal feelings affect your job, Robert Kraft has won how many Super Bowls? 6 Super Bowls as an owner. Jerry Jones, I mean, yeah, okay. Brian Mullen, my buddy. Guess they don't like cheaters. I get what you're saying there. I really do. But are you going to tell me? Let me ask you this, Brian, and everybody out there listening. Is Tom Brady not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer I think he's eligible next year? Is he not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? You guys tell me that. I want to answer. And remember this. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I despise the Patriots. I despise Belichick. I respect Belichick. I respect Brady, but I despise it. Are you going to tell me Tom Brady is not a first ballot Hall of Famer? I mean, that's the question you got to think of. If he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer next year, if they do the same thing to Brady that they did to Belichick and Kraft because of Spygate, because of Deflategate, and Brady would, I mean, if you're going to blame Belichick and Kraft for Deflategate, then you blame Brady too. You blame Brady for it. Brian saying, luckily it's not his decision, but it's looking that you don't think Tom Brady's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm telling you this, guys. I was just as ticked off about Spygate and Deflategate because Spygate actually, if things went down the way they said it did, affected the Steelers. Steelers lost 2001 AFC Championship game to the Patriots. And that was the time that Spygate was going on. And a lot of Steelers players said they knew our plays. They knew every play we were getting ready to run. But 6 Super Bowls, that comes to, and you had a bunch of great players on that Patriots team. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you and Brian with the likes. If you don't think they deserve to get, I mean, that's, believe me, I'm being objective here, and there's no way that you should keep Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, or Tom Brady. Tom Brady especially out of the Hall of Fame, because look what Brady did when he went to Tampa Bay. Another Super Bowl. He got that team and carried them to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl again. Belichick didn't have as much success. So, but still, guys, Belichick won 8 Super Bowls as a coach, head coach, and assistant coach. He almost had a perfect season. Lost in the Super Bowl. Whether you despise him or not, and listen to some of the other podcasts, guys talking about Belichick's problem too is the way he treated reporters that vote on this Hall of Fame. The short answers, the act like he didn't want to be there, that stuff like that. These reporters like, I need a story. You're giving me this crap. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I'll pay you back one day, and I guess they paid him back. Russ Taylor, what's up, buddy? They should both be first ballot Hall of Fame. I agree. Whether you like them or don't like them, whether you're a Patriots fan, whether you're a Steelers fan like me, or just absolutely despise them, guys, these guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Just like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, I would say to this day, should be in the Hall of Fame. And Pete Rose didn't do anything to affect his team. I mean, he gambled on his games, but he didn't slack off and fix games. There are a lot less deserving people in the Hall of Fame than that don't deserve to be in there, and they got in. And these guys, and some of these guys are using this excuse. Well, we're worried about some of these veterans, like Roger Craig, for example. This might be his last chance to get in, so we voted for him. I don't buy that for a minute, guys. I don't buy it for a minute. That was just a way of saying, you know what? I can't stand him. I'm going to keep him out. He's not going to be first ballot Hall of Famer. So Robert Kraft, and Robert Kraft had his run in with controversy as well, with the massage parlor. But like I said, if they keep Brady from being a first ballot Hall of Famer, if it's next year or the year after when he's eligible, then you got to call in these guys and hold them. Who's the ones doing this vote? Who's voting, not voting somebody in? This is getting personal when you keep somebody out. And believe me, guys, I'm not a Brady fan, but the guy was one of the greatest players, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Way up into his 40s. I mean, I give credit where credit's due. Can't keep him out of the Hall of Fame, that first ballot Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous. I mean, it really should be questioned. People should be questioned about and saying, okay, if you're supposed to be objective in voting these guys in, how does this happen? It's crazy. Now the talk of an 18-game NFL season. I don't even like 17 games, guys. I love football. I don't even like the 17-game season. I mean, you're really stretching it thin when you go to 18 NFL games. I think you're setting it up for the playoffs being uh, you're going to have injuries, fatigue, and I know these guys get paid. They're professional athletes. They shouldn't be fatigued and all that. But you try doing that from mini camp to February if you're lucky enough. You try doing that. It takes a toll. And you're going to add another week of it. And I'm sure what they'll do, and what they may do, is take away another week of preseason. But they're not. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the players will vote it down. They won't agree to it, and the players have the right to do that. But all this is the NFL wanting to make more money. Hey, let's add another regular season game. We can make some more money. It's a business, guys. It's crazy. But then they'll say they don't have any money. They don't have the money to pay the veterans out there that are dealing with CTE or dealing with the injuries from putting their bodies out there every week. They don't have the money to help the veterans that made the NFL what it is today. I get you. I have a former football player that I was lucky enough to talk to message back and forth on Facebook for a while. I haven't heard from him in a long time, and it worries me. And I'm not going to give his name out, but he was struggling, guys. He was struggling with a really bad leg injury. He was struggling with finances. The wear and tear of football over the years caught up with him. And these guys, I mean, if it's head injury, it doesn't have to be just CTE, guys. It could be crippling leg injuries, back injuries, neck injuries. And the NFL making all this money and tell me you can't help out a veteran because he was honest to God, he was about at the end of the rope. I've messaged him several times, have not heard back from him. That worries me, and I'm actually reaching out to some people on his Facebook page to see if he's okay. Because I actually, matter of fact, while you're on here, I believe, yep, I will text him right now. And guys, I'm telling you, to see, I saw I saw pictures of his leg, and this was something that was gruesome. Um, it's just sad, dude. And the guy is a good, really good guy. He was talking to me about different ways that he could make money to try to get himself back on track again. I even reached out at guys. I reached out on social media to a former teammate of his that was doing pretty well to let him know that this guy was struggling. Never got a response back. That person read it, but I never got a response back from him, and I don't know if I don't know. Um, Trying to help, but it's sad. But that's what that is with the 18 game season. Russ Taylor, good comment here. I'm afraid NFL football is getting worse year by year, and it's going to be bad as the NBA before long. I hope it does not get to that point, but all of it, dude. Appreciate the light, Russ. All of it is about money. It's about how much money they can make. And I understand it's a business, but it used not to be this way, guys. When I first started watching from a kid, from 5 years old, watching the NFL, it wasn't like this, like it is now. And I'm not saying anything about the guys playing today, the athletes. They're incredible athletes, but it's become less and less for some of them. I'm not saying all of them. For some of them, it's become more about how much money can I make, and that's fine. I know this is your livelihood, and you gotta make that money. For some of them, I mean, you're not able to play in the NFL till you're 62 or 65 in retirement age. I understand that, but these guys back then too knew that. Excuse me, guys. I'm trying to plug this up before it dies. And they were more worried about winning a Super Bowl than were just as much about winning a Super Bowl with their money. Because I will throw this out there. I said it when he signed that big contract, and I'll say it about any of these guys. One person that signs a big contract that is so unfriendly to a team's cap, Dak Prescott. You got all that money. You got more money than you will know what to do with in your life. But are you gonna have a you're gonna do the same thing every year because you're getting paid so much, they don't have enough money to put weapons around you. You got CeeDee Lamb, you may have Pickens back next year, but you have nothing, no wiggle room for defense. Look at Michael Parsons. That's why Michael Parsons had to leave. You couldn't pay him what he wanted. So your defense struggled. I mean, I'm just saying, I understand making a certain amount of money, but when you get in this extravagant, I mean, just way out there with more money than you know what to do with in your life, do you really need all that money? Roger Goodell. That will never happen until he steps down, bud. Russ Taylor saying, I think the NFL needs a new commissioner. That will never happen. He will have to step down, and I don't think he's going to do that. They won't fire him because they're getting so much TV deals. They're getting all that stuff, dude. Social media, streaming deals. He's brought that to the table here. They will not get rid of him because them owners are seeing that money. As long as he keeps that money coming in and he doesn't really tick anybody off, he's not worried. He's not doesn't have anything to worry about. I'll put it that way. All right. So now we get to the main event. Super Bowl 60. Patriots and the Seahawks. A rematch from the Pete Carroll screw up. I forgot which Super Bowl it was, guys. Forgive me. Um, you got the ball on the 1 yard line. All you got to do is get the ball to Marshawn Lynch. And how many times have you seen that highlight this week? The interception by Butler. I mean, it's one of the bonehead play calls in Super Bowl history, if not the biggest bonehead call in Super Bowl history, because you had that game. Anybody ever tried any of these? I love a Powerade. A lot of people do Gatorades, but this is Powerade. I drink Powerades a lot, but these are different. I like sour stuff. This is the extra sour peach pucker, and they also make a green apple one too. Really, really good. You want to try them out? Rich Square Market has them. Come see me at work. Come get you a Powerade. Powerade. I drink them. I don't. I really do, guys. I don't. I like these better than Gatorade, to tell you the truth. Um. Anyway, now that I got off that, so here's how New England and Seattle stack up. Let's go to quarterback. Drake May versus Sam Darnold. If you're going to go by the playoffs, you got to go with Sam Darnold. I mean, this guy is lighting it up. He's got a quarterback rating in the postseason right now, this year, 122.4. That's the fourth highest in a postseason entering the Super Bowl. This is a guy that I used to really, really joke about because of the time when he was with the Jets, when he told the coach he was seeing ghosts on the field throwing interceptions. Did I ever think Sam Darnold would be leading a team to the Super Bowl? And I mean, I'm talking about leading a team. I'm not talking about Trent Dilfer in it. I'm talking about leading the team. Trent Dilfer, starting quarterback, but outside of Tony Banks, I think anybody could have quarterbacked the Ravens team that year and won the Super Bowl with that defense. And, you know, I hate giving the Ravens credit, but, yeah, that was a scary defense that year. Drake May hasn't had an impressive postseason. He's faced 3 top 10 defenses, which, okay. 55.8% completion percentage, thrown 2 interceptions, and committed 6 fumbles. Not impressive. And that's what I said going into these playoffs, guys, because we had such a different round of quarterbacks going into this. Some inexperienced quarterbacks coming into this playoffs. How are they going to handle the playoff pressure? You know, because it gets turned up. You guys remember, and I do a lot of Steelers references up here. You guys remember Big Ben's rookie season, talking about being in the right place at the right time. Big Ben they go 15-1. And he's doing a good job. The end of the season, you could see where he was getting confident. But that first playoff game against the Jets, guys, you saw it going down because that atmosphere, it's a whole nother level. And the pressure is a whole nother level. Win or go home. And Ben did it. Ben, they got lucky in that Jets game, but not so lucky against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. How you handle that pressure, that first go-round is how you're going to be. C.J. Stroud and he's been there. He's been there before. Didn't handle it. Drake May, I mean, how do I put this? Drake May got lucky that C.J. Stroud was the quarterback in that game against Houston because I heard Dan Orlovsky say it, and I agree. 31 other quarterbacks could have been playing for Houston that day against the Patriots, and they would have Houston would have won. Brian, good one. Let's get to the commercial. Game will be a snoozer. We'll see. Yeah, he did, Kyle. Yeah, who did what? So you've got to think quarterback goes to Sam Darnold here. And Sam Darnold finally gets that monkey off his back. Running backs, you got Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson for the Patriots, Kenneth Walker III, and George Holani for the Seahawks. So Charbonnet being out, that affects the Seahawks running backs. You know, that Zach Charbonnet gets hurt right before the playoffs and has season injury. Season playoff ending injury, excuse me. Thank you, Bobby Connor, for the like. Darnell, appreciate it. So you got to give the running back the edge to the Patriots here. Um, Whether they can do it against the Seahawks defense, I don't know, because the Seahawks defense is pretty strong. Receivers, I'm going with Seahawks here. Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith Nigma, Shaheed, Stephon Diggs. I mean, who knows with him? Butte, and that is his name, Kayshon Butte. Kyle, if I had my lottery money in place, we would be doing that. The Seahawks, the plan is for the Seahawks to be sold after the Super Bowl. And if I had my lottery number in place, we'd have the Seahawks become the Roanoke Rapids Riverhawks, of course. We'll see about that. We're putting together a group that'll be interested in that. So yeah, that's 2-1 Seahawks right there. Offensive line. Will Campbell got used in that Texas game. There's been a lot of pressure. The Broncos game as well. There's been a lot of pressure on Drake May. Where Darnold has hardly been touched. I'm sorry, guys. I got a text message came in on my ear. I need to take this out. I'm going with the Seahawks on this one. 3-1 Seahawks. Front seven, defensive line. Oh, my gosh. This is a no-brainer here. The Patriots have a good defense, but the Seahawks have a great defense. Seahawks get that too. Secondary. This is a close one, but I'm giving the edge to the Seahawks here. Special teams. Seahawks. Coaching, guys. Mike McDonald's done a great job. Second year as Seahawks coach. He's got them in the Super Bowl. He's got them favorites. They're 4.5-point favorites in the Super Bowl. But Mike Vrabel is a much, much better coach than him. He gets the edge in this. Pac-Man Jones, Super Bowl MVP. If you knew how much I despise Pac-Man Jones, I mean, that guy is one of my least favorite NFL players of all time. No lie. He's such a crybaby. In his later years, he was terrible, but he still thought he was something. Pac-Man Jones, wasn't he a TNA tag team champion too, Kyle? So what it comes down to here, Seahawks. And I mean, I get what you say, Russ. Since he's from North Carolina, you hope you like Dre. You pull for the Patriots. I cannot pull for the Patriots. I don't care who's. It would have to be a family member. It'd have to be a family member playing for the Patriots for me to pull for them. So I got Seahawks, and I'm thinking it's 2 scores, guys. I'm gonna say Seahawks 35, Patriots 20. I don't think. Ooh. If Holton Ahlers would start quarterback for the Patriots, I still don't think so, Kyle. I still don't think I could pull for the Patriots. I just don't like them. I would pull for Holton. That's just like Keaton Mitchell with the Ravens. I won't pull for the Ravens, but I want to see Keaton do well. And I'd want to see Holton do well. The Ravens and the Patriots are my 2 least favorite teams. And the Patriots are less than they used to be because they've got rid of the Belichick and the Brady's. I mean, but I still can't happen. 30, what did I say? 35-20? 35-20. I know. I don't. You know Holton. I mean, I know I've talked to. I would love to get Holton on the show. I'd love to get Holton on the show. Set it up for me, Kyle. Um, but still, any ECU player. I mean, when Jeff Blake was quarterback for the Bengals, I wanted to see Jeff Blake do well, but the Bengals, and the Bengals had some terrible teams back then, so I really didn't have to worry about it. But I did, yeah, I'm serious, Kyle. Um, I didn't want to see the Bengals do well. I mean, I pull for my ECU players, but and it's even better. It's because we had, gosh, what's his name? I remember finding out as a kid, Zach Valentine. This is going way back in the day. Played for the great Super Bowl teams with the Steelers. He was there for the 79-80 Super Bowl champions. And I was like, that is pretty cool. ECU player got a ring playing for the Steelers. Yeah. If they won with Holton there, I would be happy for him. I really would. But I wouldn't pull for him. Can't do it. All right. So now you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Super Bowl commercials are a big part of it. The halftime show, whichever halftime show you watch, whether it's the other halftime show with Kid Rock, and I can't remember the name of that, um, and the regular halftime show with Bad Bunny. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I mean, he did a great job in Happy Gilmore too. He was pretty decent in WWF when he wrestled. But as far as his music, to each his own. I'm just not into that kind of music. I'm sure there's music that a Bad Bunny fan, a bad Turning Point USA. Thank you, Kyle. I'm sure there's music that Bad Bunny fans won't like that I listen to. I mean, I'm sure not a lot of Bad Bunny fans are Kiss fans. I'm not saying you couldn't be, but I'm sure there's the majority of you aren't Kiss fans. But so enjoy that. When I go back thinking about halftime shows, the Prince one is the first one that jumped to my head when he's doing Purple Rain and it start raining. The late great Prince, uh, that was probably my favorite halftime show there. Um, the Michael Jackson one was good. I mean, you know, say what you want about Michael Jackson, but I mean, the guy's music was great. I was a Michael Jackson fan when I was a kid. Yeah. I don't know what Super Bowl you're talking about, Kyle, but was that was that for real? I don't remember that one, but anyway, yeah, I may be wrong. Um, I just I'm getting tired of the same old though. This would have been a good year being in San Francisco. Okay, 93. See, I don't remember that. I won't pay attention. That was Cowboys Bills. Um, I don't even know if I watched the halftime show that year. Um, I'll have to go back and try to find it on YouTube. This would have been a good year in being it was in San Francisco. How about Metallica doing a halftime show? I mean, how about I'm trying to think of somebody in the rock world that would be big enough to do it that that could still do it. Foo Fighters comes to mind. I mean, I'm a pretty decent Foo Fighters fan, but Metallica, man, can you imagine Metallica doing a halftime show? I hear they're getting ready to play the Spear in Las Vegas, which is going to be incredible. As long as they don't play anything off Saint Anger, I'm all right with Metallica. Metallica would. Let's get Metallica on the next Super Bowl halftime show. All right, so I'm only going to do just guys. I really don't think this is going to be a close game. I really don't. And I mean, with the Patriots, uh, Kyle sending me a message. The 94 Super Bowl halftime show, Rockin' Country Sunday, January 3rd in Atlanta. Okay. Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judge. Wow. How don't I remember that, Kyle? So 94 was that? That might have been Bills and Cowboys too, because they played 2 years in a row. So I'm thinking that was it. Let me see. I'm gonna look up the 1994 Super Bowl, because if that was the one, we were in the middle of a freaking snowstorm here. That's yep. Cowboys, Bills. Um, yep, that was the one. We were in the middle of a snowstorm that Sunday, because the girl I was dating at the time ended up. She came over for the Super Bowl to watch it with me, and she ended up having to spend the night there. I remember that the second Super Bowl. Um, Top 5 favorite Super Bowls for me. So he got to stay and go to the Super Bowl party at his Uncle Wade's house because of snow and ice. Didn't have to go to school the next day, so I didn't have to go back to my mom's. See, see, me and Kyle are on the same page. Me and Kyle's been on this on the fly a lot. He hasn't been on the final score, I don't think, because he doesn't watch too much of the other football. He's a college football guy. Kyle is one of my co-hosts on the Sports Objective. Hopefully, when I get through with this one, I'll be headed over there to do like a Super Bowl preview over there with him and who else with Kyle. All I gotta say is somebody talking about getting fired up. Anyway, before I get too far off the rails, my top 5 favorite Super Bowls. Now, I'm not saying these were the best Super Bowls, but my top 5 favorites. And believe it or not, all 5 of them aren't Pittsburgh games. Pittsburgh wins, guys. Believe it or not. First on my list is Super Bowl 34. The Rams with the greatest show on turf versus the Tennessee Titans with Steve McNair and Eddie George. Just a great game. All these guys comes down to the last possession because the Rams were just dominating people all year to that NFC Championship game, which they won I forgot what the final score against the Buccaneers were. They had to score at the end. Ricky Proehl catches a touchdown pass to clinch the game at the end. But Tennessee, I think that was the year they did the Music City Miracle against Buffalo in the playoffs. And you just saw, Kurt Warner, the incredible story of Kurt Warner coming from nowhere to the starting quarterback and in the Super Bowl. And Steve McNair, the late great Steve McNair, taken from us way too soon. His determination, and he carried that Tennessee, that last drive, one of those plays where he scrambled and it felt like he scrambled forever. And that was another weekend where we had snow or ice that weekend. I know Atlanta, where they had it at, had snow and ice that Sunday. But comes down to the last play, and the Rams stopped the Titans about a yard short. Kevin Dyson over the middle, and Mike Jones, linebacker for the Rams, managed to stop him about a yard short. And I really didn't think it was that close because I thought he was down before he reached out. I thought his knee was down before he reached out. But man, what a game. Incredible game. The Rams get the win 23-16. Next is Super Bowl 17. And this is going to be kind of nostalgic and kind of special to me. Even though I'm a Steelers fan, the rest of my family are Redskins fans. And yes, we still call them the Redskins. No harm intended. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's the way I grew up as a Redskin. My parents were Redskin fans. But this was really the Redskins' return to glory here. They had struggled, and I remember my dad. If I had a camera, if I had my phone back then where I could record his reactions to this stuff, man, it was priceless, guys. Where he would think the game was over, and he just ran around the house. Ball game's over. Ball game's over. Uh, Big play in that game. Redskins 4th and 1 from just about midfield. They hand the ball to John Riggins. He breaks the tackle of Dolphins cornerback Don McNeil and takes off down the field for and the Redskins take the lead. They go on to add another touchdown to make the game 27-17. And just to see, like, my mom's brothers that were big Redskin fans as well, excuse me, to see them finally and the Redskins get back to glory with Joe Gibbs as a coach. And that started like a decade where the Redskins were really a dominant team in that decade. The 49ers were there, but the Redskins went to the Super Bowl again. Of course, they got crushed by the Raiders, but they had one of the best offenses in football in '83. One of the best offenses you ever see. But that's number 4. Number 3, and I've had to go back and watch this game. I did some tape trading with some sports guys when the internet started, and was able to get all of my Steelers Super Bowls before you had YouTube and all that. So going back, and watching some of those Steelers Super Bowls from the '70s, it was just like, wow. And now you can see them all the time. But number 3 for me is Super Bowl 13. Steelers win 35-31 over the Cowboys. It was just watching those weapons. I think they said how many Hall of Famers were in that game? Not just players, but coaches and like owners. Hold on. 26 future Hall of Famers involved in that game, including 18 players, 11 Steelers, and 7 Cowboys. Terry Bradshaw, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns. Incredible game. And Bradshaw always did his best in the big games. But the game, one play that everybody will be known, all this game will be known for, is Jackie Smith, their Cowboys tight end, dropping a pass wide open in the end zone. And that guy said he's got to be the sickest man in America. So that's my number 3. Number 2, and this is really a game that I remember as a kid because I was 6 years old. Super Bowl 14, Rams and Steelers. Vince Ferragamo, start quarterback for the Rams versus Terry Bradshaw. And the Rams were big underdogs. And the Rams had the Steelers on the ropes till the fourth quarter. Bradshaw showed that Lynn Swann, one of Bradshaw's weapons, out with a concussion. And I've watched this game and watched the highlights of this game thousands of times. And I could tell you, I love watching this game. Steelers are down 19-17 in the fourth and score 2 touchdowns. John Stallworth catches a over-the-shoulder catch from Bradshaw for about 40, 50 yards, and that puts them ahead. And then he makes another catch to get them in scoring range, and I think Franco scores the last touchdown to make it 31-19 Steelers. And that was the last Super Bowl win for that Steel Curtain era with Franco, Terry Bradshaw, Jack Ham, my favorite Steelers player of all time, Jack Lambert, Donnie Shell, who we've had on the show. Donnie Shell, and I will name drop that because that was one of my crowning moments right there to be able to talk to Donnie Shell, among others on that great Super Bowl team. Rocky Blyer, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Randy Grossman, Benny Cunningham, Mike Webster, the best center to ever play football. And I've had Mike Webster's son on the show, Garrett. Just a great game, guys. I may even go back and watch that tonight when I get through with the podcast. Last but not least, my favorite one. Super Bowl 43. Steelers Cardinals. The last Super Bowl win Steelers have had. And what a game it was. Steelers go ahead. You felt like the Steelers had control of the game, and then they lost it. And there's Kurt Warner coming out again. And what a game Larry Fitzgerald, wide receiver for the Cardinals, had. He scores a go-ahead touchdown late in the game. And at that time, I was like, we're going to lose this game. And then the Steelers put together this incredible drive led by Ben Roethlisberger, who, I'm sorry, Santonio Holmes, Ben Roethlisberger should have been the MVP of that game. I mean, he led that team that day. I mean, that drive, Santonio had catches in that drive, and of course, Santonio made the touchdown catch that sealed the deal with a toe tapping touchdown just a great catch. But Roethlisberger threw that ball and put it right on the money. And this is also the game with one of the greatest, if not the greatest play in Super Bowl history. James Harrison taking the interception back right before the half. Some say 99, I'll say 100. 100 yards. Interception return for a touchdown. And he was gassed, guys. He was gassed. That ends up being the difference in the game, too, guys. The Steelers get Super Bowl VI, the sixth win. And I could talk about all these Super Bowl guys because one of my favorite things for Super Bowl week is when the NFL Network goes chronologically in order and shows the NFL Films highlights from every Super Bowl. It's just, and for me, and I know like Kyle is a college football fan through and through. He'll tell me, he said, I don't follow NFL like I do college. And I don't follow college like I do NFL. I enjoy college football, but there's something about the NFL that I love, guys. And I remember as a kid being sick as a dog watching the Bears just throttle the Patriots in Super Bowl 46-10 and thinking, why didn't they let Walter Payton score a touchdown? I remember being I was sick as a dog. It seems like I was sick as a dog. When the Giants get their first Super Bowl win over John Elway and the Denver Broncos 39-20. The Phil McConkey touchdown catch with Mark Rivard tips the ball. Doug Williams with his incredible MVP performance against the Broncos. I think they scored 35 points in a quarter. They were down 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. I think they were up 35-10 at halftime. Of course, the David Tyree helmet catch for the Giants. The Giants ending the Patriots' quest for a perfect season. And watching the late, great Junior Seau's expression after the game, just so sad for him. The Patriots coming from behind 28-3 against the Falcons. Outscoring them 31-0 after they go down 28-3. The incredible Julian Edelman catch that I swore up and down was not a catch until I sat there and watched it in slow motion. I don't know how he kept the ball from hitting the ground. Of course, the ones we talked about, guys. The Marcus Allen reverse field run against the Redskins. I mean, so many. The wide right, Bills Giants. We talked about the Marshawn Lynch play. What about the Philly special? The Eagles against the Patriots. Nick Foles catching the touchdown. So many great plays, guys. And I hope this is a good game, but I just got a feeling it's going to be a blowout. We've been blessed with a lot of good games here lately. But I just got the feeling this is going to be a blowout. Anyway, guys, enjoy your Super Bowl weekend. Eat a lot, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of Super Bowl parties to go to, and there'll be some great food there too. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend, and let's make Monday a national holiday. The Super Bowl Monday holiday. I've been wanting that for years. But enjoy your weekend, guys. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next time on the final score.